Welcome each and every one of you to my first episode of M&B Warband. I'm playing this on the PlayStation 3 right now, and the reason for it is just because I saw it was in the store. I didn't know that this game was out for PlayStation, and yeah, I'm going to start a new game. So first of all, about this game, the first thing I want to talk about is the character creation. You might know that from some other roleplay games where you have to just answer some questions to create a character or just create it yourself. So it is the same thing here. I'm going to go with a male character, and yeah, now I can just pick stuff for my background story, and you will see that there are like kind of huge text blocks in the other questions, but you kind of only have to read the last sentence to know what kind of character you're creating, so I'm only going to read out the last sentences. You were born years ago in a land far away. Your father was let's go with let's go with a novel. I have a reason why I picked that one. So what you pick here is kind of influencing your skills and stuff, obviously. You started to learn about the world almost as soon as you could walk and talk. You spent your early life as I'm going to go with let me just go with craftsman's apprentice. Then as a young adult, life changed as it always does. You became... So if you want to read the whole text over there, go ahead, pause the video for a moment and just read the whole thing. Okay, so then as a young adult, life changed as it always does. You became... I'm going with a university student. But soon everything changed and you decided to strike out on your own as an adventurer. What made you take this decision was... Let's go with the edgy choice and just say personal revenge. We become an adventurer and ride into our destiny. So, because I took the thing where I'm a noble, I think I am able to pick a banner now. I'm just going with the banner with the bear because bears are awesome. Axes are also awesome, but I don't know if I can lay my hands on an axe early on in the game. Maybe I could, but I'm not going to try to force it. And bears are really cool, so I picked the bear. So yeah, now we have to pick our attributes. I'm going to talk a lot about the attributes throughout the game, so I'm not going to make a big deal out of this right now. So we have now 9 strength, 8 and 8 charisma. I kind of want to have charisma and intelligence really high, and also the steps like with 3 points are very important, so I'm going to put 1 in each of those and 1 in this one, and then I'm going to go with charisma, just getting it a little bit higher. So I want at least 1 point a trainer. That's really important, and leadership is a very important skill as well. And let's go with prisoner management, at least 2 points. Persuasion is really good as well, and I want a little bit in surgery, first aid, and wound treatment, so I have 1 point each. That's really good as well. Let's get another point into trainer, and what will be our last thing? Let's see, what it says, one-handed weapon. We don't really need to. We have 2 power strike already. That's so. Let's go with 1 point in shield, at least 1 point in shield, and athletics. So now we can just increase some kind of weapon as well. I just increase crossbow a little bit. That's not really important because you can level up those weapons really fast anyways. And yeah, let's just put one in pole arms. Now we come to the name. So because I didn't really wanted to decide what kind of character I play, I made voting. Because I don't really have a fan base, I used my friends to do this voting, and they choose the name Ui. It's a really stupid name. The story behind the name is kind of funny because I think it initially wasn't meant to be a name, but just more like an expression. And I just asked, is that a name that you wanna recommend for the voting? And he said, yeah, but sure, why not? And it turned out to win the whole thing. Yeah. So now we create the character. I also made a voting deciding which fraction we start with. So we are going to be Nords, which are basically Vikings. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the game in a moment. As a Viking, we want someone with red hair. That is good, I guess. We want a huge beard. That one is huge. Let's see. Oh, I kinda like that one. I go with that one. And now I think maybe we get something where we are bald. Oh, this one is cool as well. Maybe I go with this one. Let's see. Yeah, I think I go with the where is it? That one. I go with that one. So let's make him a little bit more old, I guess, but not too much. A little bit, yeah, like that. And done. And now we're going to pick the Kingdom of Nords. So, first of all, we're in the tutorial right now. I have to adjust the sensibility of the oh, I kinda I turned the sensibility a little bit higher, and it's really hard to control all of a sudden. I can't aim like that. Okay, so let's just go there real quick and turn down the sensibility. Turn down the sensibility like that. That should be enough. Yeah, that's way better. Maybe it's a little bit slow now, but I can play like that. So yeah. So what just happened was I got into the city and I was attacked by a bandit, and this guy found me and he wanted to help me. If I would have died in this fight, which is quite possible if you're new to the game, then he kind of rescues you, but you still lose your shit, like your money or something like that. I'm not going to go through the whole dialogue. You can pause the video at any moment again if you want to read everything he has to say. So this guy basically gives you the tutorial quest. So the interesting thing about this game is not the combat system, but more like how you can manage everything. So we are right now just us, and this is the world map. And what we can do right now is we're in the Kingdom of Nords. The blue guys are the Nords. We can see the whole map already. This guys are the Vagia people, I think. This is the Kingdom of Swadian. Those are the Rodoks. This is the Khergit Khanate, and this is the Suranit Sultanate. And yeah, they are basically having war all the time. It's stuff that happens here is pretty similar to stuff that actually happened in medieval times in Europe, and not only in Europe, all over the world. It also is, if you don't know too much about history, you can compare how the fractions interact with each other with how fractions in Game of Thrones interact with each other. Everyone just tries to fucking up everyone as hard as they can, and everyone tries to get as rich and powerful as possible. So the tutorial quest now is this guy we talked to is a merchant in the city, and his brother was kidnapped by bandits, and we have to get his brother back. But the first thing we have to do is we have to recruit some soldiers because we can't do that alone. So now it gets interesting. I now can walk into this village. Okay, I was just scared for a moment, but I was scared for a reason. Those are 16 Sea Raiders. I'm alone, I can't beat 16 people. They are going to fuck me up. But because I'm alone, I am way faster than them. So I just decide to walk this way instead. And there are more Sea Raiders, but as I told, I am faster. Now I can recruit volunteers. I got 6, not soldiers. I think you have to get 5, and then you can go back to him. And the quest is completed, and you can get to the next step. I could fight those looters now, but I don't know. I just try it. I think I just go and fight those looters. I should be able to do that. I got a little bit more people, and I can right there and fight them. So, okay, this river is kind of fucking me up just now. I'm just going to dismount. I am actually more comfortable with fighting without a mount. So yeah, hitting people with a crossbow is not that easy in this game. With any ranged weapons, it's not that easy, but it is possible. So yeah, we won this fight pretty easy. So I took the fight because now my soldiers and myself gets a little bit experience, and I got stuff. The stuff is not really important, but I'm just going to take as much as I can. Also, I got 46 dinars, which is not bad. And so there are still 12 Sea Raiders. I don't want to fuck with those guys, but I'm going to check my party for a moment, and no one can level up. That's a little bit sad, but not a big problem. I just want to go to 2 more villages, because even though I can complete the quest with 5 soldiers, I would recommend everyone to get like 10 or maybe even more soldiers. Because if you just barely make it, you lose soldiers. Soldiers get wounded, and that makes the game more hard. It makes it harder than it needs to be. So I guess I go there, and then I go back and complete the quest. And maybe you remember how I took the trainer skill. I have a reason for that, because if I take the trainer skill every day, my character is going to give experience points to every character in my army that is lower in level than my character, which will at some point be all the low level soldiers, and my soldiers getting stronger without having to take the risk of losing them makes the game a lot easier in many ways. So some interesting things are, first of all, the game is sometimes really ruthless, and you can just lose everything you got in the blink of an eye just because you was one time not careful or just made one bad decision. So I don't know how long this playthrough can go on. I'm going to wait here for some time, because traveling throughout the whole night is going to lower the morale of my army, and I want to keep it as high as possible. At some points I will just... Oh shit. I am... Okay, not veteran archers. I think it were 12. I have way more people, but all my people are not recruits. Veteran archers are fucking insanely strong. I don't want to fuck with those guys. I'm trying to pay them off. I'm going to pay that. So in this scenario, if I wouldn't be experienced, I would have taken the fight, I guess, and that would have ended with me getting screwed over by those guys. It's late night. I think I can just keep on walking just now. I'm just going to this village now. These guys are now friendly because I paid them off. Oh. Okay, this village is attacked by bandits. Okay, or I am attacked by bandits while I'm in this village, I guess. So yeah, if you don't know how the combat system works, it might seem a little bit awkward on first glance, but actually the fighting system is very fun, and you can develop quite a skill in this game. So, getting back to the thing with, I don't know how long this playthrough is going to be, how long I will play this save file basically. My character level up, so I can just increase the stat. I just go with charisma. I want to get it to 12 as fast as possible. And in the meantime, I'm just going to increase persuasion. I will need that later on in the game. And I'm just increased the one-handed weapon, as I just found out that my crossbow isn't that useful because I suck. Now I want to get back to Sagat as fast as possible. So the goal of this game, you basically can do whatever you want. You can become just a vassal of any king and fight in wars and try to conquer land for your king and trying to get influence in the kingdom you're fighting for. Maybe getting your own castle to take care of, maybe not. You of course wanna get enough money to live. You need to buy food for your people. If you don't buy food, the morale is going down. If the morale is down too much, people are going to desert. You don't want to die, obviously. I'm just going to check the arena and ask this guy something. Yeah, okay, there. So, we have tournaments in Jelkava, Pravenice, and Amerad. I think that's all kind of far away. So, not too interesting. Maybe Yekala. Yekala shouldn't be too far away. I think it's in Rhodoks and it's close to the border of Nord Kingdom. Oh, well, no, okay. I just had the map wrong in my head. It's completely on the other side of the world. Okay, so you can you can just become a tradesman. You can just buy stuff and sell it to get money. You can just rob people. You can become an outlaw. You can create your own faction at some point, and that is basically what I try to do. But first of all, I need to get a little bit influence and power about something, and to be able to just create my own faction. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to hunt those bandits. Those are the band of robbers. You see 4 guys, I have 24. I just my people are going to wreck them. I can just order them to attack. I'm going to do that right now. And let's see. I have no casualties and all of them are beaten up. One survived. This is scripted for the crest because this guy now told me where the hideout is. And I can capture him because I have a little bit prisoner management, and later on in the game I can sell him as a slave to get some money, or I can recruit him, which will lower the morale of my troops, but I then get more troops. And if you don't fuck up too much in other ways, you should be able to recruit some prisoners every now and then. Okay, some of my people can be upgraded now. So another thing about the soldiers. I can now do upgrade them into different things. I'm going to go with the huntsman. I want the veteran archers and the last thing. I forgot if I think veteran archers is the last level of improvement for those guys. So here's the hideout now. In this hideout, the brother of the tradesman is held captured. So you get other recruits in everywhere in the land. So the Nord guys, for example, make basically the strongest infantryist in the game. Especially the archers are really strong because they got really strong bows and do a lot of range damage, which always is a good thing. But they also like wear pretty heavy armor and can beat most people in close combat as well, which makes them really, really just maybe the best, in my opinion, the best infantry troops in the game. So, and every country, like every faction, got their specialists. For example, the how were they called? The orange guys. Swadia, the Kingdom of Swadia, those guys got really, really good cavalry units, and the Warlocks got really, really good crossbow archers and also really good spear spear fighters, and yeah, I don't know everything, but every country got their own really strong guys and specialists in different ways. Okay, so I won this fight as well. Not a hard fight, to be honest. Oh, there's the guy. So I freed this guy. Now I can leave. I got stuff. I just take as much as I can. Oh, I can just press... Okay, I could have just pressed triangle for taking all the stuff, but I didn't thought of that. So now we go back to do the last part of the quest. We start a rebellion because the guards and the wards of this city are corrupt, and they make deals with the bandits, and so we're going to throw over this regime and free the people of the city. Then we go here. Another thing, in cities we can find those guys like Hired Blade. Hired Blades are very, very strong. They are not from one faction. I think you can sometimes get like mercenaries, and then you can level them up, and this is the strongest infantry mercenary unit. They are really, really strong, and they want 752 dinars for 3 guys. This is actually a good price, but I don't have the money to spend right now. But stuff like this is important. Desavi. So this, she's pretty cool. Like there are a lot of pretty cool characters. Again, you can, if you want to, pause the video and just read everything there. What we do here is I will hire her. She also levels up like my character, and I can individualize her. And usually you want to get people which you can use to help out where your character isn't that strong. For example, if you don't have a if you have a character that can trade well, you want NPC character in your party that can trade well, because then his skill points will be used when you're trading. So yeah, obviously that's a good idea then. And now what's happening now is we're going to start the revolt, and there will be a fight in the streets of Sargot, and it just started, and we are killing bandits and corrupt guards. This will have no consequences whatsoever for us, because this is the tutorial quest. The tutorial quest is really, really easy, just really rewarding. I would recommend everyone to do the tutorial quest at first, just because you get a little bit money, a little bit XP, and it's just overall very, very it has no downsides to it. So now that we have done this quest, I'm going to just do a check on... I'm just going to talk with him, and yeah. So now I going to go to the marketplace, and I'm going to sell all the stuff I found. This is the armor merchant, so I'm just going to sell all the armor. I'm actually not 100% positive if it makes any difference if I sell the weapons and armor to the specific merchants for those things. But I'm doing it anyways, just in case. Except for this cap that I forgot to sell to the armor merchant. Now I'm going to make an overall check of my troops and my character and everything. And this will be it for this episode. I can level up one more guy, which is good. So right now we have 25 people and we have one prisoner, and so the question is, what are we going to do in the next episode? My plan is, first of all, I want to get my level up my character a little bit. So at some places in the map, I'm going to look for there, for example, is the training field. I'm going to visit one of those to level up my character a little bit. When I do that, you can just see me fighting one-on-one fights with sticks and stuff against other guys with no armor, while my character is wearing no armor, and I get, for the first time you do that, you get a bunch of experience. I use that to level up my character a little bit, and then I think I'm going to travel the world, getting some people from all over the world, and also doing I'm attending to tournaments, because tournaments just can give you a lot of money. So yeah, I'm just going to visit tournaments to get money and level up my character at the same time, and therefore I don't really have to fight anyone else than the enemies in the arena, because my character uses the trainer skill to level up my soldiers a little bit. And when I get decent army, when I have a decent army and my character is a little bit stronger and I get some equipment maybe as well, I will return to the Kingdom of Nords, and I think I want to just join the army for a while and attending at some wars, just so people get to know me and my character, so that my character gets a little bit influence in the world before I start to create my own faction. So I actually don't know how long this episode now was. I didn't have a time or anything. This was the first episode, and I wanted to do the whole tutorial quest and talk a little bit about the game in general. And I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you think this game is interesting, because I actually love this game. It's really good. And if you don't know it, you might want to check it out. I know that this game is not for everyone, because it's kind of hard to really get into. I think it's kind of harsh for like beginners. But once you get a hang of it and get into the game, it is just a really rewarding experience, as you just have the freedom to do so many different things. You can achieve your goals in so many different ways, and yeah, it's just you just can play it on and on and on. And this is the PlayStation version. In the PlayStation version, you only have the original game with the DLC Warband, which adds this extra faction. But there are also, when you have the PC version, there are two other DLCs available. One, both change the whole map and setting. One of them is just staring Scandinavia to the times where the Vikings were roaming around, and it's the different factions are just different Viking clans. It's completely based on reality. The map is based on reality, and the clans are, as far as I know, all also clans that actually existed. I might be wrong at that. You can correct me if I'm wrong. And the other add-on is the Napoleonic Wars, which is playing in Europe, and you to the time when Napoleon was around, and you have the same gameplay, but not in medieval times. And yeah, also you have like the real fractions that were involved in the Napoleonic Wars, and both are pretty cool. I personally like the main game the most, but another thing, if you want to try out this game on PC especially, is mods, because there are a lot of talented modders that created several mods, some of them creating complete new versions of the game, having other settings, adding more fractions, adding more rules, more options to the game. Some even staring into another universes, like there's a lot of the Wings mod where you then can play as an urukai and or as an orc and or an elf or dwarf, anything, and just have the same experience you have in this game, but in the world of Lord of the Rings in Middle Earth. So yeah, I think I praised the game enough now. If you're interested in this kind of game and you have the commitment to get into a game like this, which is a little bit more complicated, it's absolutely worth it. And I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'm going to see you in the next one. Bye.